1880, February 13. The sail training ship HMS Atalanta, originally named HMS Juno, disappeared with her entire crew after setting sail from the Royal Naval Dockyard, Bermuda for Falmouth, England, on 31 January 1880. It was presumed that she sank in a powerful storm which crossed her route a couple of weeks after she sailed, and that her crew, being composed primarily of inexperienced trainees, may have been a contributing factor. The search for evidence of her fate attracted worldwide attention at the time. Connection is also often made to the 1878 loss of the training ship HMS Juno, which foundered after departing the Royal Naval Dockyard in Bermuda for Portsmouth on 6 March, and the Admiralty received more than 150 telegrams and 200 personal calls from anxious friends and relatives after it was announced that the ship was missing, and possibly lost. She was alleged decades later to have been a victim of the mysterious triangle, an allegation resoundingly refuted by the research of author David Francis Rain in 1997. HMS Juno was a 26-gun Spartan-class 6th-rate frigate of the Royal Navy launched in 1844 at Pembroke. As HMS Juno, she carried out the historic role in 1857 of annexing the Cocos, Keeling Islands to the British Empire. She was renamed HMS Mariner in January 1878 and then HMS Atalanta 2 weeks later. Investigation of the ship's loss was rendered difficult by the lack of any survivors, but one former member of her crew, able seaman John Varling, testified that he had found her exceedingly crank, as being overweight. She rolled 32 degrees. And Captain Sterling is reported as having been heard to remark that had she rolled 1 degree more she must have gone over and foundered. The young sailors were either too timid to go aloft or were incapacitated by seasickness. Varling states that they hid themselves away, and could not be found when wanted by the boatswain's mate. The exact circumstances of the ship's loss remain uncertain, but the gunboat Avon, which arrived at Portsmouth on 19 April from the Chile station, reported that at the Azores she noticed immense quantities of wreckage floating about. In fact, the sea was strewn with spars etc. 2 days later, amid mounting concern that the loss of the ship might have been prevented had her crew not been so inexperienced, the Times editorialized, "There can be no question of the criminal folly of sending some 300 lads who have never been to sea before in a training ship without a sufficient number of trained and experienced seamen to take charge of her in exceptional circumstances." The ship's company of the Atalanta numbered only about 11 able seamen, and when we consider that young lads are often afraid to go aloft in a gale to take down sail, a special danger attaching to the Atalanta becomes apparent. A sunken wreck, with just the bow above water, was sighted at 46 degrees 42 minutes north 7 degrees 45 minutes west on 14 September by the German brig W. von Frieden. It was thought that this could have been the wreck of Atalanta. A memorial in St. Anne's Church, Portsmouth, names a total of 281 fatalities in the disaster. Among those lost was Philip Fisher, a lieutenant who had enlisted the indirect support of Queen Victoria to obtain an appointment to the ship. He was the younger brother of the future Admiral of the Fleet Lord Jackie Fisher. Since the 1960s, the loss of HMS Atalanta has often been cited as evidence of the purported Bermuda Triangle, often in connection to the 1878 loss of the training ship HMS Juno, which foundered after departing the Royal Naval Dockyard in Bermuda for Portsmouth on 6 March, an allegation shown to be nonsense by the research of author David Francis Rain in 1997.